No, I heard it. It buzzed.
I can't turn it off.
Yeah.
I have to hotspot it.
You could hear that in there?
No, you can't.
Oh.
I heard you when you drank out of it.
Deaf. I'm just gonna randomly go, what? Well,
Is there like a list of podcast manners that it's like
podcast is gonna take 3 hours, isn't it?
etiquette,
We're gonna be fucking
no
around the whole
slurping.
time.
Welcome to episode, what is this, 5 now?
5.
Biceps and Bullets.
We're way over the hump.
Well, sort of. We at least have a setup that looks more like a real setup. So it's semi-professional now.
Yeah, looks good. I'm impressed.
Many hours of swearing, like we talked about. I think we talked about the same exact thing last time.
Fewer hours of swearing this time.
Literally, I called.
Or I'm just good at ignoring you now.
Well, I sent Dave that message, and then I sent you that same text, and then
I ignored it completely.
Then Matt came over and literally just turned the volume up and was like, "Oh,
my gosh.
you're good." I was like, "Huh, that was way easier than I thought."
That was after I got that get alcohol text too. This is how you text.
Get booze.
Done. Great.
So anyway, we're standing here at Studio Seva or
Got it.
Seva.
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 Yeah.
With Joni McCarran, located off North Anthony. Joni is a member of ours at CrossFit Tactical Strength and has been doing yoga for quite a while now, I'm imagining.
Yeah, I'd say about 10 years.
About a decade.
Yeah.
It's 10 years.
Kind of sad. Doesn't make me feel old or anything.
So, I guess give us a little bit of a rundown on what your athletic background is, what kind of stuff you were into, like in years past, and leading all the way up to what kind of brought you into yoga.
All right. Yeah, I started out. I hated sports in high school. Had nothing to do with it. Didn't do much other than climbing trees. Like literally till I was like 18-year-old climbing trees.
She was
sad.
a non-sporter, right?
A non-sporter. Sorry, I was a
so
non-sporter too.
yeah, you were
so,
okay.
Yeah.
If it involved balls, I had nothing to do with it.
If I was at a football game, it was because I had to dance at it, which is not a sport.
I think I tried dancing and it didn't work. So, I played with gymnastics a little bit, but I always got in trouble because I goofed off all the time. So
I don't believe that for a second.
So, yeah, I was one of those kids. But, I think when I was about 20, 21, I discovered kickboxing and fell in love with that. And so training to fight, then I started lifting weights, running. And that just is kind of where I went from there. I spent a lot of time in the gym. Loved the kickboxing training, Muay Thai. We did a little bit of that. So
That's
kind of fun. Yeah,
I always forget about that.
I had no idea.
That trip we took to Huntington to go to this weird.
That was interesting.
Oh man, that was so weird.
That was like one of those trying to recapture glory days thing for us.
No, you told me about
for my coach and I, for my trainer and I, for Mr. McNeil, but it was
what a weird group of people. It was
bizarre.
it was an upstairs apartment
that
was like converted into this weird like Rocky gym almost.
Yeah, actually, that's the same place where I did gymnastics.
Really?
And I would always get in trouble. So like fast forward.
This is Huntington, Indiana?
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, it was so weird, and all the dudes that were there were like.
Sorry, everyone.
I know. I usually don't claim that, but that's what it was.
It was just so goofy because I remember the one dude training for a fight there smelled like he just smoked like 5 packs of cigarettes.
Yes.
I was like, oh my god, I can't even wrestle this guy.
I know. Right?
He smells like a campfire. I'm like, I don't think his fight's gonna go too well. He can't even breathe.
I wonder how that went. Yeah, it's interesting, but yeah, I really loved that. So I got into that, and then college, I just stuck to the gym. I had a fight that the girl that I was matched up with in my weight range, she didn't come. So I had to fight a boy who was my same weight range and level, and he was like 15. And I'm like 21. And I'm just like, I'm not going to beat this kid up. This isn't even right. And so I'm just dancing around, and he punches me straight in the face, and I was like, "Well, you little!" I just went to town. I lost my shit on this kid.
So you beat up a 15-year-old.
I beat up a 15-year-old boy. He's probably like, "I don't think so." And he's probably scarred and has like severe
Mom, you
emotional
remember that
problems
one time
now.
that old lady
You got my ass?
No.
So my mom was in the crowd, and she was crying because she was so upset by this. That was my last. I was done. So I enjoyed working out on the bag, and I still even, we had some kickboxing here for a while, and I get the bags out every once in a while, but so that turned into the gym for me, and I was going to the gym 5 days a week, an hour and a half a day, and it was just getting burnt out on that.
Yeah.
Had my second kid and realized that things weren't going back like they did when I was younger with the first kid.
Try 3.
No, yeah, you got props from me, yeah. So that's when I found yoga, and I had always practiced yoga as a stretching, like a post-workout stretch, kind of like a recovery, which is good to do, and that's just how I started with DVDs, videos, podcasts. Tara Stiles was like the first person I ever practiced yoga with, and I thought she was like so cool because she was a model in New York City. So
I'm sorry.
It's just
Not a
cheesy.
clue.
It's cheesy now, but
better or
that's how I
worse?
started.
No, Rodney.
Yeah, better or worse than Rodney Yee?
Yeah, I mean,
Rodney Yee's badass.
Yeah, no, she's not as legit as Rodney Yee. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure. Sorry, Tara. In case, you never know. She
Oh,
could be
no.
watching this.
Tara's going to be upset when she sees this podcast now.
I'm going to be like the black sheep of the yoga community now because of this.
Tara
No,
Stiles
but-
blacklists you.
No, right? I'm
There's going to be
done.
a bunch of people
Done.
though that Google her name now. So actually, we're promoting.
So
her.
if she starts
There you
trending,
go.
that's
There you go.
you're welcome.
Yeah, right. No, but yeah, so that's kind of where I started in yoga practice was DVDs and things like that on my own. And then I took Bella to a yoga class because she was really introverted in school, and the teacher was concerned about her participation in school, and maybe it would help to get her into something that would boost her confidence. And I had read that yoga was killer for kids and boosting confidence and testing abilities, and homework and stuff. So took her there, and I was chilling in the front room waiting for her class to start, and meanwhile these ladies are coming out and they're like, oh, I'm so blissed out, and like, what are these people doing in there? What's going on? Are they doing drugs? What is this?
Hallucinogens.
But
Yay.
yeah, week after week, I see these ladies come out and just glowing and just like loving life. And so I'm going to try this. Just going to see what it's about. Loved it, fell in love with it. I knew from that first class that this is what I wanted to do. And so from then on, that's all I did was yoga. I did nothing else. Until probably like a year ago, I started running again.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I hate running and I bitch
Yeah,
about
no
it all
kidding.
the
You
time.
complained about it this morning.
I whine about it every day. I whine about it and shake my head. Yeah. So that's what I did. I just started picked that up again. So I actually started coming to your gym so I could stop running again. And then here I am.
Yeah.
But now, so I've been there then 4 months, I think, at your gym.
Seems longer than that, but yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd say 4 months,
I think
5
it's
months,
about
something like
4 or
that.
5, yeah. So that was pretty much it. I mean, I've always been pretty active and loving it.
Who'd you learn yoga under? Who'd you do, like, teacher? Did you do teacher training or anything
with
like that?
Danny McGuire at Prana Yoga.
Okay.
So that was my teacher. And then after that, I kind of went on to some other teachers and studied in Chicago and Ohio at some other studios, focusing on anatomy, alignment. Iyengar yoga is a big inspiration for me. Focuses on bringing the floor up to the person and proper alignment so that we're not pushing too deep into a posture to get this end result.
Yeah, that sounds
Which
a lot
is
like
easy to do.
what Mike Service says about pushing the floor away
Yes.
as you lift. Like, bam, push it
Yeah.
away rather than lift the bar up.
Exactly.
And sometimes that makes things click
Yeah.
really, really well for people.
Yeah, and that's what we do. We use props. The rope wall. That's the point of the rope wall. It was developed by BKS Iyengar, who is like this big he made yoga almost possible here, or even he was like a grandfather of yoga. Is what we kind of call him. He was just phenomenal on bringing all body types to this practice.
When did the rope wall come into
It was
popularity?
in the early 1900s.
Early
So, yeah.
1900s.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's not that old.
So-
it's not that old at all.
So when did Mobility WOD come online? Early
2000s?
2000s? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 2008, probably 2009.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Wow.
maybe
First
later.
time I heard
But
about
that was like the first time that anybody inside the CrossFit community had heard of the distraction stuff that we do,
which is it's
basically the same
identical.
thing.
Yeah,
The only
totally.
thing you add is the distraction from the rubber band with the stored kinetic energy in the band rather than just the wall and
which
just the
I've
rope.
actually implemented here,
Yeah.
the bands, since being at your gym.
Yeah.
Because
That's awesome.
and there every day, I'm just like, I can take this to my studio.
Yeah.
I can do this there.
Right, and every time
people love it.
Every time we do something with you, we take things and
Yeah,
apply it, just
yeah,
like that
yeah.
handstand progression.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
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 So the
great.
dots are very, very connected
Oh
with
yeah,
that.
absolutely. Yeah.
but likewise, if you don't apply it correctly, or appropriately, or spend time really learning it, you can apply all these principles incorrectly and really fuck some people
Absolutely.
up.
Totally.
So,
Yeah.
and that's one thing that K-Star talks about too is, a lot of people, want to say, hey, you shouldn't deadlift, hey, you shouldn't squat. He in his practice, what he's, talked about on interviews and podcasts and stuff is that he's seen more L4, L5 stuff from poor yoga practice than anything.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because it's just taking hypermobile people, not finding
Yeah.
any position with it, and just grinding it out.
Yeah.
So.
Or not progressing at the appropriate level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of, as you know, ego is a big thing.
Huge.
And that's huge here. And it's so easy to get caught up in, well, that person next to me is doing that. I'm going to try that because it looks like it feels good. And it might not even be a conscious ego thing.
Yep.
But really, it's really easy to get caught up in that and try to go for the end result right away. And I think that's one of the best things that one of the most influential things that I've learned from you that has come to the studio with me and helped with my teaching is instead of calling all of these different expressions modifications, I felt like that was kind of dumbing down some of the postures.
Right.
And it was like, well, I don't want to do a modification. I'm going to do the real thing. So when you say progressions, that has just like rocked my world, my teaching world, because
it's just such a positive
it's so different.
connotation.
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
And it should have been so obvious before. Like, how is this not so obvious?
Yeah.
But it's helped with keeping people from going too far too quickly. Right. And then they see this, oh, okay, I see where I'm going.
Yeah, it's more of a roadmap, and like you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And that was a big thing when we went to Carl Pauli's freestyle class. Like it was just like, oh, you mean it's not just a scale? Oh, we're just scaling it. And if you scale things, like you just
it's the same thing.
you may never come back with the scale.
Exactly.
Like if it's progression, you're progressing. You can see the end.
Yes.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
You're working towards something.
It's not just a dead end movement.
Yeah.
Oh, I suck. I can't go any farther. Ooh.
Right.
Well, it looks like I got to do this green band again.
Yeah. So that's been huge.
Awesome.
So I mean, my practice, my teaching has been affected so much by the gym and the training that I've been doing at your gym. Even my own personal practice went from one that was so aggressive because, like I said, I stopped going to the gym and just did a 100% yoga. That's all I was doing. Everyday yoga. Well, you can only do so much stretching, and then you need strengthening.
Right.
And if you practice yoga appropriately and properly, yes, if it's sequenced correctly, yes, it is an even balance of stretch and strengthening. And that's the beauty of yoga. It's all there in that practice. But I was getting caught up in, oh no, I'm getting older and I can't eat whatever I want to anymore. Oh shit. So now I have to like chair for like 20 minutes and I'm doing all these stupid things and I'm hurting myself. And oh, now my hamstrings hurt. Oh, this is great.
Right.
Because I wasn't balancing it out.
Right.
And so then when I started training with you guys, and then I go to my mat, and I don't have any choice but to like crawl around because I'm so sore and tired. So, but at first it took me, when I first started training with you, it took me a moment to kind of find a balance between the two. And I feel like just within the last month or so, it's really clicked.
Yeah.
How the two are complementing each other so much more evenly now.
Yeah, and if you look at the 10 domains of fitness that CrossFit talks about, like flexibility is one of those pieces, and that's where a lot of CrossFit gyms, when you try to balance out your program with those 10 domains, because you're only as fit as you are competent in those, right?
Right.
So it's hard to make flexibility really sexy and make people want to do it. So
Right,
band distraction is one way to do it, but it's got to be more than that.
Sure.
So that's an element that is lacking, inside of your regular strength and conditioning classes, just because it's a lot of responsibility on the athlete to fill in the holes for themselves.
Definitely.
So.
I think just like Joni said, like she wasn't balancing hers. I think a lot of CrossFitters come in and they think CrossFit is like this be all end all. It's the only fitness program they'll ever need. But sometimes there's a component missing, especially at
Well, and as perfect as each CrossFit program is, and each CrossFit owner or programmer or head coach or whatever, they think that, oh, my program's the best. But, even with my background and stuff, and I do all the programming for our gym, I still have holes in it because I bias things a certain way.
Sure, exactly.
So without checking yourself and talking to people and learning, and you're not going to fill in the holes for your own program.
Right.
And then pushing yourself to do things that you wouldn't normally do. So you taking yourself out of just the yoga studio into a CrossFit gym or into a weightlifting facility, it makes your yoga practice better. Just
that was
like
scary.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I mean, you think it isn't intimidating for me to come in here with a bunch of older ladies like doing downward dog, and I can't even find hey, why are your heels so far up? Are you on your tiptoes? No, I'm trying to stretch. I swear to God.
The funniest thing was you were like, you said something about your ankle mobility, your ankle flexibility, and I was like, I never knew there was such a thing. It didn't occur to me that
it's a thing.
I thought that was hilarious. I envy your ankle flexibility. I'm like, well, it's one thing I've never heard before, but thanks. It was pretty funny. Yeah. But I mean, I take for granted a lot of times when I'm here, and I'm pretty flexible. And I remember I was telling Andy the other day when you first came to the class, and I think I did an adjustment on you in downward facing dog, and you wouldn't go anywhere.
No,
And I was like, I've never experienced anything like this before.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm used to all these people coming in here being all bendy and flexy, and So that it's really I just love the reality of, hey, we're all these different people, and we have these different shapes and bones. I mean, no amount of yoga is going to change the bone shape.
Right.
So if it's the bone hitting bone, it just is what it is. And that goes back to that ego thing. You want to push yourself so hard and get your heels to the floor. And it's just, it's amazing. And I take for granted every day the flexibility. And then I go to the gym and I'm just like, you guys can do all these things and I can't do anything. And then you said to me one day, well, I don't come to your gym and your studio. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I get it.
I'm 33, and it took me 33 years to ruin my ankles to the point where I did. I can't expect them to get better in 12 weeks.
Yeah,
that's retarded.
True, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No, a lifetime of whatever you're doing.
Of
It's
everything.
this bad postural position right here. Yeah, you can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen overnight. It takes lots of work and practice.
Yeah. Always going, consistency is huge. Yeah.
So how long have you been doing CrossFit now?
So, 4 months.
4 or 5 months.
4 or 5 months, I think.
Yeah, we did that already.
Yeah.
Well, just recapping here. It was on the list of approved questions.
Dang, I went out of line.
Yeah, we already covered that. What did you do before yoga and CrossFit? And, I think we already touched on it a little bit, but, how you've integrated the two. Anything more specific that you've done?
We now have the lacrosse balls, and they smash out.
I saw your basket.
Now, and they are loving it.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Cool.
That's so awesome.
So we really focus on a lot. And you made me actually want to research more about flexibility and mobility. And as a yoga teacher, I feel like we're given this freedom to teach whatever we want, and there's this huge responsibility that comes with that. And a lot of yoga teachers are not taking it seriously and studying anatomy and the body, and that's sad and that's scary because they're. I'm going to a yoga class and someone's telling me, oh, stretch your hamstrings out. And, in my head, I'm just like, nah, my hamstrings are what they are. It's probably really the fascia and the connective tissues that I want to focus on right now. And so that's been I've been inspired by all of the stuff I learned from your gym about the body, and to come in and try to get people to work past that mindset of flexibility, stretch more, get my fingers to my toes, get my head to my feet. It's bizarre that yoga practitioners have this stupid need to get to the floor. It's dirty. Why do you want to get there? I don't get it. It's gross. Maybe so they can pick their toenails. I don't know. Which is my pet peeve today because I've got toenails all over my floor. Like, who does that? But anyways, so sorry, you're a toenail picker. But anyway,
knock it off.
Stop doing it in my studio. No, so
we won't talk about what we sweep up at our gym.
Is that a pube?
I know. I was like, that's either a pube or a guy's leg hair, and I don't know the difference. So
I don't even want to know. Sweep it up, get it out of here. Oh, shoot. But yeah, we have this stupid desire to get closer to the floor. Hey. And it's like, if I stretch more, I'll get deeper. And so I've been incorporating those lacrosse balls and smashing out, and they love it. And it's been huge. I think we did one in the upper back the other day and came up and before we did the other side, did a little test. Can I reach your hands up? And everybody's side that they had done was higher. And so just look at that, what that little 2-minute mobility work did for you. And so that's been another cool thing that I've learned from you guys and brought it here, and my students really appreciate it. And I think it's a quality product that I'm giving them now because not everybody offers that.
Right.
And
Well, they don't
likewise
unless they go out and
CrossFit.
seek that information. The same thing with CrossFit is CrossFit headquarters has a level 1, and they have some continuing hours of education that you need, but it's very libertarian. There's not a whole lot of. It's like, hey, good luck. You paid your fee. You know, go forth.
Go.
If you suck, you'll go out of business. You know, going back to what you're talking about, when we get yoga practitioners, is that the right?
Sure.
Okay,
yeah.
So that works.
Whatever you want to call us.
Yogis.
Yogis.
So stretching is one thing. Joint mobility is another thing.
And health,
then the third part of it, I think, is activation. So you can be super flexible and super supple leopard, but if your glutes aren't activating in the right order, if you're not sequencing that loading pattern, well, I was the same way.
I don't know what you're talking about.
you might be deadlifting 600 pounds, but if you're deadlifting all with your hamstrings and your glutes aren't firing, one, you're leaving capacity on the table, and two, you're going to overpull your hamstrings at some point, and you're going to get tendinitis.
I know when I first started CrossFit, like
bad stuff.
That's. I didn't think I was hot shit, but I thought I was like one up because I had really good mobility.
Sure. Yeah.
But I was hyper mobile.
That's hard.
It was actually, it's turned out, I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I had your mobility. I'm like, no.
Yeah, but you also have activation. That
no
I don't
activation.
Have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's not fun later.
Yeah, it's in our standing balancing poses, it's really hard to get people to activate their glutes and their thighs and in the appropriate places, and so that the initiating muscles are working properly, so that the stabilizers can work properly. And it's really confusing because not everybody's, but they're in these weird postures, and here I am yammering about, do this, do that, and they're like, wait a minute, I'm still on the first step. Yeah. Right. So it's there's a lot of stuff going on in your head, but it's getting to know your body and listening to it, and that's like I've never met. I have this huge connection to I don't know, I feel like I really listen to my body, and I never realized that there was a huge disconnect from so many people and understanding what's going on in their body until someone mentioned it to me.
On so many levels, like kinesthetic awareness, put your arm out above your head. No, above your head. It is above my head.
And it gets
straighten your back out.
Sometimes.
It is straight. No, straighten it the other way. It is straight.
Yes.
Where's my back? Yeah.
And so you're probably somebody who's hyper aware.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, and I would say to a certain extent I'm hyper aware.
Right.
And we've got Jessie Rex, who's also incredibly. She might be the epitome of awareness.
Okay. Be less aware.
We love you, Jessie.
Balance. It's all about balance.
But so then to try to connect with people who maybe have less body awareness, it can be hard.
Yeah,
I'm trying to give them cues.
Yes, and there's so much going on. Yeah. But one of the other things that I learned from you guys is with the squat. So my squat was sad, wasn't it, when I first came in there? Because chair pose and yoga.
Oh yeah.
It's stupid.
It's a very knee initiated
squat. Totally. Yeah. But I don't teach it like that anymore, and I don't know if I should be or not. But I really don't care because I feel like this is the better approach.
Well,
and so I do teach it quad and hip flexor initiated now.
Yeah, and I would say maybe there's two different ways to do it. There's a really hip initiated version of it, and there's a more knee initiated version of it, and that's going to demonstrate and express different angles for different joints in different ways.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really cool, man. But and I was really surprised when I think one of the very first classes I taught at your gym, the yoga classes that I taught, and it was at the end you kind of pointed out all these parallels and all these bridge to bench press.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, that was clutch. I remember watching that going, that is a bench press.
Right.
She's doing a bench press. You're basically setting up for a floor press.
They're just universal. They're like universal archetypes.
I loved it. I thought that was the neatest thing how those two. Because, I'll come in here and talk about the gym and, where do you go? And, what, you do CrossFit? I all of a sudden start out some horns and I'm like a traitor or something. Like, are you kidding me right now?
You can't kick me out. This is my studio.
The reaction is hilarious. And I always say, you wouldn't believe how similar and complementary they are to each other.
And a lot of that comes from just stereotypes, and maybe they did have an experience with CrossFit, and maybe it wasn't the best, because we talked about a minute ago, there are no, it's not a franchise and it's affiliate, so it's your responsibility to make sure that you don't suck. So there are some. There's a ton of good CrossFit affiliates out there, and we're pretty lucky in town. We don't have too many. There's not any bad ones, I would say.
No.
But I've been to some fucking bad gyms, and they are bad. There's that blog. Remember Diamond Dave's and Judy Jump and Olympic weightlifting?
Crazy.
It's a video. It's a video. I posted the video. I think it's from Drywall.
That just makes me think of the old water park.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. Yes. Oh,
which is totally hillbilly too. So, remember that?
Yeah. But that's phenomenal. That video's from Drywall.
Yeah.
So that's Drywall. Like they make fun of CrossFit.
Oh, okay.
CrossFitters doing CrossFit.
Right. So it's got these guys that are all sweaty from doing a bunch of snatches. So they take paper towels and wrap them around the bar. Cool. Makes sense.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
But like these gyms are real. Like they do exist.
They really do that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So just be a good consumer.
Yeah. I mean, we have those spoofs too in the yoga world. And that stuff really happens, and it's embarrassing to the people who want to teach a traditional yoga practice. And then the Americanized yoga now is like putting this stereotype on the entire. Well, we just sit around and smell incense and put our fingers together and hum. I mean, we don't do that. That's not real.
Right.
That just isn't.
You were talking about that
shit.
in class the other day.
Stupid.
About Americanized yoga being so touchy-feely.
Oh, God, yeah.
And then,
And, I mean, that's cool, but the intention behind that is something other than what the traditional yoga practice was established to do.
So people think they're going to get the Madonna body doing yoga.
I don't know.
Right? You know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
Like, I bet she did, like, real yoga to get that damn body.
I think she did yoga Lattes.
Yoga Lattes?
I hate that.
I don't even know what
yoga
that
Lattes.
is.
It's the worst thing on the face of the earth.
Yoga Lattes.
Yoga
That
Lattes
even makes me mad. It's so stupid. Okay,
Cross Yoga Lattes fit. Let's make
that.
Let's
do it. I can see it now.
It's gonna be great and
be real.
horrible. So what's the difference between Americanized yoga and then like traditional yoga?
Well, one of the funniest things that, okay. So I have a gentleman that came to my studio, and his name is Abhinav, and he's from India. And he happened to come in when I was conducting a teacher training course. And he was like, hey, can I join you? We were going over philosophy and the Bhagavad Gita and some historical texts. So he jumped in, and we started discussing, and, he was like, I just want to be part of this. I want to join this group. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I learned a lot from this gentleman who I felt like he should have been teaching the training course, actually. One of the things that he said was, why at the end of the class do you put your hands together and bow to the floor and say namaste? I was like, I don't know. I was taught to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what it means, or I know what the definition I was taught is. And, the beauty and the light in me bows and honors the beauty and light in you. And he was like, well, it's just a greeting. In India, you wouldn't walk up to somebody and bow like you're in China and say namaste. And I was like, oh, so I shouldn't be doing that? I'm like, well, what do you do in India? He goes, you just get up and go. Oh my gosh. Really?
I'm out of here.
Like, peace out.
Deuces.
Yeah, but that was like the best day of my life, because I'm like, I no longer have to, at the end of the class, say namaste in a Martha Stewart Kraft voice. I don't have to do it, and it was the best day of my life. Yeah.
Now you could do namaste, bitches,
namaste.
right?
Yeah. Not my fucking say, bitches. That's what I would say. But anyways, so I didn't have to say it anymore, and I was excited because it felt contrived to me, and it always felt like it just wasn't a part of my natural personality. It's just, this isn't me. So that is just an example of how exaggerated everything gets and how commercialized and how fluffy it gets. And I guess if I could say one thing, it would be the fluffiness of the yoga practice. People will say, oh, we're going to have a kirtan. Well, a kirtan is not a concert. It's where you have a caller who is chanting a Sanskrit prayer or mantra, and it's very monotone, and it's not like, I'm going to sing here, be like, and then call and response, and we all like hold hands, and we sway, and I got some good stories. Okay, so it's funny. It was probably oh my God, okay, I'll go there next. But yeah, so kirtan. So in real life, kirtans are ma brahmanaha, om shanti shanti om. It's not like, I'm singing and this is my platform and now this is my concert, and it's annoying. The Americanized kirtan.
It's like the difference between like Gregorian chant and like a big mega church.
Totally.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah. So that's happening in studios, and that's happening And I went to a yoga practice one time where in the middle of a class we had to stop and do like some chant and om and sing together. And I was like, well, I thought I was doing some yoga asana right now, which is just postures. So it's this just doesn't happen. Everything gets pushed together to make it seem, I don't know, like it's fancy or it's some exotic escape from your, I don't know, boring life. I don't know. That's just how I feel. And I'm a little cynical about it all. And it's just sad that the beautiful traditional approach to this practice, which is you have 8 phases. There's 8 stages of yoga. And the first 2 are how you act as a human. You just be a good person. You don't steal. You don't cheat. You get rid of envy. You get rid of the ego. You don't hoard. You're not attached to these things. You keep clean. You speak the truth.
That sounds a lot like the 10 Commandments.
It's the 10 Commandments.
Like, wait.
No, it is legit. And when I say that, I usually get like, huh? But when I teach these, it's the yams and the niyams. And it's the moral observations and how you conduct yourself in life and with yourself and with others. And it is exactly like the 10 Commandments. Yeah. So those are the first 2 steps of yoga. And then the third step is the physical practice, the asana. So you're cleansing your body to prepare your body to then eventually go into a meditation. So you've got these 2 first steps that you're just trying to make yourself a better person. All of these things, the greed and the hoarding, those are just kind of like the root of the ego is the root of any kind of ignorance, of like seeing things not as they really are. So it's stories that you tell yourself. Are they real? Is that guy really looking at me and gonna come over here and yell at me, or is he just having a bad day? So you tell yourself these crazy stories, or you have these things in your head, and that's just ignorance is shaping those. So when you cleanse your mind and when you get rid of ego, then you can see things as they truly are. And so that's the first step in just kind of purifying and quieting your mind, so that then you can move into physical practice, and then you can start to heal your body if you have any, health issues or strengthen your body, because ultimately what we're doing is coming to this seated posture where you can sit anywhere from 5 minutes to 45 minutes or an hour. And how can you sit that long if you have bad knees or hips or poor posture or you can't breathe? So that's what the point of the physical practice is. It's healing. That's all it is. It's not levitation.
I'm out.
It's not to find some different identity in there. Yeah. You're
also out. Dang, you're killing me.
You're trying to go towards this path where you find this happiness that's already there. And so the real thing is getting to this true self that's inside. So then after the physical practice, you move on to breathing, pranayama, different breathing exercises that then help to even further quiet the mind and prepare your body. And then you move into the final 4 stages of meditation, focusing, becoming one with the focus, and so on and so forth. And so that end result then is that meditation where you can sit with yourself and enjoy that happiness and enjoy that true Atma, that inner self, that's you. And at some point, chanting, it has the vibrational sounds of Sanskrit, the language, has really huge effects on the body physiologically. It vibrates the cells, and there have been studies that show that sounds resonate with your body, different tones.
The Darth Vader breathing?
Totally.
Darth Vader, right. No.
Ujjayi breath is heating.
I don't know if you did any birthing classes or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's very similar.
It is.
The breath is like the most...
Anthony's having flashbacks.
Yeah, was that super fun?
No, but sometimes there are sounds you make that are almost like, I'm sorry, this is what my body's doing right now. Yes. It's primitive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yes. So, but the breathing.
We just lost half of our male listeners.
Sorry.
They're not listening. Birthing babies, I'm out.
Birthing babies.
Primitive sound.
Then I scare them off with the puking baby at the gym. Yeah.
So, but going back to the breath, that's like one of the most powerful tools that we have. It's built in. It's free. It's there. It's there. We're walking. We're breathing. And all you have to do is take a deep inhale and exhale, and it balances out that CO2 exchange, and it automatically quiets your mind and calms down your fight or flight, and it takes you back to rest and digest, and it balances out your sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous systems. And so if everybody just stopped and took a deep breath,
it really helps in decision making.
Yes,
and that's why Mark Devine, who's big into warrior yoga and Ashtanga.
Yes, Ashtanga.
So that's in his book Unbeatable Mind, he spent an entire chapter or 2 chapters on breathing and box breathing, 5 count in, hold for 5, exhale for 5, and then hold at the bottom for 5. Which I started doing that, and I was like, I felt like I was drowning. I felt like I was drowning. I still do.
Isn't that what Brian McKenzie was talking about?
It might be.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of similar stuff with the
Yep.
endurance plus, the Unbeatable Mind training is very steeped in like Navy SEAL and special ops stuff, which is all endurance.
What? Navy SEALs, yoga, what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know,
right, yeah.
Cool stuff. Yeah.
So what is the difference, since we brought it up, Ashtanga and like what do you call it, just regular yoga?
Yep.
I mean,
So it's all Hatha yoga. So Hatha yoga is the most common style practiced in the United States, and it's basically a derivative of a tantra yoga. So where we're focusing on balancing the energies, and then trying to keep the energy moving up and down the right and the left side evenly, and then crisscrossing at the chakras, and then preventing blockages or breaking up blockages where energy might get stuck. So it's all about balance. So we're trying to, that could apply to so many different things, like
everything.
Moderation, or even hot cold. So Ha is like sun, Tha is moon. So it's hot cold.
Sauna, ice bath.
What?
Yeah. So that's pretty much the most common. So Hatha yoga is what most people will offer, and then within the Hatha yoga realm, there are a bunch of different little branches. So Ashtanga yoga is so when I was talking about Iyengar yoga, BKS Iyengar, Patabi Joyce, and Indra Devi were 3 students of Krishnamacharya, and then the 3 of them kind of went off. And Krishnamacharya is a pretty cool dude, pretty important guy in the yoga world. So I don't expect you to know who that is. You're just like, yeah. Your eyes are glazing over. Like,
all I can think of is Rodney Yee. The guy at the Target videos.
Oh, yeah,
Just different.
Yeah,
okay.
He's no Krishnamacharya. So BKS Iyengar, Patabi Joyce, and Indra Devi. So they all studied together, and then Patabi Joyce went off and created the system called the Ashtanga system. So Ashta means 8, so it's 8-limb yoga. Which before, when I was talking about this 8 limbs, remember the 10 Commandments and the breath. Okay, all right. So that's the practice that he created, and then within that practice there are a few different series. So there's primary series, second series, and it's a set of series that you practice, and you add on a posture when your body is ready to add on a posture,
like a progression.
Yeah. So you do the same thing every day, like a progression.
Wow.
Like, why did it take me so long to get that? Like, why? That's me, but So that's Ashtanga, and then you'll have the second series, which is a little bit more difficult, and then within each series you add on each posture, and you just keep adding on when your body is ready to move on. I have a love-hate relationship with that practice.
Yeah,
it's hard for me to do the same thing every day.
See, I would love that.
Me too.
And most people do. It's type A personalities.
Well, and especially I think it comes down to.
Are you trying to tell us?
I'm not saying anything, but
I don't know.
I think a lot of that comes down to what you want to use it to do.
Yeah,
based on what your goals are.
Absolutely.
So I would use it to supplement my weight training and my other things, as where somebody that wanted to make yoga their primary focus would use weight training and CrossFit and gymnastics to supplement yoga.
Sure.
So I would say for me, that regimented, you do the same thing every time, you'll probably only do it 2 days a week. That will supplement what you're doing right now. Perfect.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? But if I wanted to shift and make yoga my primary focus, that's not going to be enough.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go broader than that.
It was too much for me to do the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
And their system's pretty rigid. You practice 6 days a week with 1 rest day off, and you don't practice on the moon days. So it's pretty.
And the reasoning for that, I think, is based in the origins, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're on. Tell us about the origins.
So of Ashtanga yoga.
Yeah.
So Patabi Joyce created Ashtanga yoga, and it was kind of funny because he created it actually for So I hope I don't make anybody mad, but Ashtanga yoga was created for a bunch of little 13-year-old boys who had this out of control libido, and I think that's another reason why I don't really dig it, because I'm not a 13-year-old little boy and I don't have a crazy libido, and I don't need to be reined in, because I'm not trying to be like a sexual deviant. It's just not my style. Sorry, David, it's just not. He wishes, right?
You went there now.
I know, right? Sorry, bud. We're not even. But so that's what it was created for, to give these boys in court something to focus and to take their brain and to stop this ADD that's happening. And honestly, I think that if we incorporated it in schools today, there would be no ADHD. There wouldn't be.
It would be greatly reduced.
Problems with these kids.
Yes.
Or at least the diagnosis of them would be greatly reduced.
Or the over-medication.
So you could actually find the right kids that are being, because it is a real thing, but it's just over-diagnosed like crazy.
Absolutely. Out of convenience sometimes.
The psych masters
I know.
coming out.
Don't even
but,
start.
So but doing anything like that would totally, that's an option. Standing desks is another option.
Totally.
Actually getting out and making these kids do physical activities and not take gym class out and not make it optional. And that even goes all the way up to high school.
Yeah. Not getting rid of recess.
Right.
I saw one school that was implementing bicycles while they read, in reading time, those, I don't know what those things are called.
The recumbent
bikes.
Those things.
Better than nothing, but even easier is just get standing desks.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That's another thing.
Have your blood flow even better.
Standupkids.org, since I want to promote that anyway.
Yeah. Cool.
But it's Kelly Starrett's thing. He's got his kids' school out in California, almost to go to it, I think, exclusively as a pilot program, or is working on getting it. And the stuff that they're going to find with that, or have found with it, the stats are already out there. So if you're listening to this, or you want to go to your kid's school and be a pushy, crazy parent, that's probably what we're going to end up doing.
This is what I want.
But you watch, and it's totally off topic, but I'm going to keep going with this.
That's okay, why not?
What is it, by third grade, I think, or by fourth grade, whatever, I don't remember what the exact age is. That's when you see, a greatly reduced, their hip flexibility is gone, their ankle flexibility is going away, they're very rounded
Posture,
and forward, from just sitting.
Then you add in cell phones, and now every school has computers, or our school does,
more
laptops,
and more and
tablets.
more. Just that forward-shouldered, sitting on your butt, making sure that nothing, and there's,
it's just against the natural way that kids are too.
I'm
sure you notice it with Xander, but AJ doesn't sit down to play.
No.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Squats
he squats. He stands. I mean, we go in his bedroom and he's down in his little squat. Completely nude.
Nice.
Playing with Legos. Put some underwear on. What's wrong with you?
He needs some Ashtanga yoga in his life.
What?
He's like, wait, no, I just got distracted by my Legos on my way to get my pajamas on.
That's great.
He'll stand at this ledge we have in our house and play. That's how kids are.
Yes.
Well,
until they get ruined by
and you can make an argument that putting a kid at a desk and forcing them into that position is just as bad as making them breathe secondhand smoke. It's ruining their joints.
Yeah.
It's ruining their joints, and they need those for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
So.
Yes, yeah. I know I have a lot of even adults that come in here and from desk work. Oh my gosh. Desk all day. What can I do?
Police officers?
Oh my gosh.
Terrible.
Yeah. You get all
probably,
that weight that you're sitting on.
Probably the worst position you can be in, and then couple it with.
Because driving is the worst thing for your body, anyways. And then to be in it all day long, 8 hours with all that weight on your hips, terrible. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pushing that into your back.
That's how I always tell people, whoever designed a duty belt just absolutely fucking hated cops. I know, I'm going to invent this belt. You have to wear it here, and it's going to ruin your life.
Yep, my work's done. Happy now.
Same thing too. I just read an article tying it into women that we actually all breastfeed wrong, completely wrong.
Really?
You're not supposed to hold your baby like this.
So how are you supposed to do it?
It's called laid back nursing.
Oh,
it's
really?
a lazy mom nursing. So you basically are supposed to be nursing more in this position
because
this
you?
Well, the breast. It's
sure.
Not, yeah.
But the breast, how it works.
I don't know.
Kinda.
So we've been doing all these things wrong and just totally destroying our bodies. Because I don't know, I get the baby mama.
Oh sure, yeah. I mean, gosh, that's got to be tough on you, on your body, your posture. Totally.
Everybody.
Everything is. Life is. God. I just quit. No, I'm kidding. I just give up now.
I'm such an inspirational teacher. To breastfeeding.
All right, so that's how we're going to end it. Just give up. Everyone give up.
Everyone give up. Don't do anything. Go eat shit. Not eat shit, but eat shit food. Sorry, that came out wrong.
I just laughed so loud into the mic.
I told everyone to eat shit. So it's okay.
Everybody got that? So, give up on life and go eat some shit.
Definitely explicit.
Anthony's like, we're done. I'm never doing this
not
again.
what people expected from our yoga interview.
I thought this was going to be way more calming.
Yeah, no, never.
Everyone's going to get in trouble at work when they listen to this. They're at their desk with their headphones in.
Oh my God, they said the F word again.
Oops.
Sorry,
I had students that came in here. I have a lady she's like, I have never heard a yoga teacher cuss in the class.
So there's someone in your yoga community that said she was trying to be, polite. And she said, Joni has a lot of grit.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
And I was like, yeah.
Just say, call it what it is. I don't care. I know.
That was great. She's going to let it. She paused. She took a long pause and was like, how do I say this and sound really nice? Got some grit to her. You got it.
Yeah, well, I guess. At least you know what? No, someone told me if you're going to be a schmuck, say you're a schmuck. So, I mean, yeah.
Well, and I think I told you this, this was probably a few weeks ago when I mentioned, like, that when I knew I wanted to try some yoga, and it was like, where do you go? Well, one, this is really close to our house, but two, I saw the video that you posted of shooting the guns online, and you said something about, like, you got to have balance or something like that. So totally. You need the quiet and the focus and the flexibility, but also that explosive violence, because it is part of our behavior and it is part of our person.
You can't deny what you are. And that's one of the first things I tell people when they come in here and they're, relaxation postures. Relaxation is the hardest pose to take. Good God. I mean, our community and our environment, we're just a busy people. That's what we are. We're just busy. It's cool to be busy now. Yeah. We talk about how busy we are on Facebook, and I'm so busy.
But I'm posting on Facebook.
But anyways, that's another podcast and rant.
Right.
But we're so busy. It's hard to relax. And so when I tell people, don't get mad at your thoughts. Don't get mad at feeling like this. Acknowledge that. It's how you react to it. It's how you can't control your environment. You can't control anyone else around you. You can only control yourself. And so, if you're lying in a relaxation posture and the person next to you happens to leave because she's got to go to work, you can't get pissed about that and start throwing a fit and now my relaxation's ruined. Well, that's up to you. That's your job. And also, you can't get mad at yourself when your thoughts come in the way and interrupt yourself. So you have to have compassion on yourself too, as well as the people around you. You just can't beat yourself up for having thoughts. It's not to avoid them and ignore them. It's just to understand what's important, what's real, what's fake, what's reality here, what's being clouded by that ignorance, that veil of ignorance that's caused by ego, and how do I file them away? How do I get rid of what I don't need? How do I let go of what I don't need to use here? And I mean, that's ultimately the practice, to quiet the mind. That's what yoga is, quieting of the mind, and that's all. And then that's what
we've been talking about that a lot.
Yeah. Well, any type of, like, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Mark Divine's Unbeatable Mind, like, all that stuff is all the same, and there's constants that go. It's just like Tim Ferriss' podcast, right? So he breaks down highly effective people, like from celebrities to Navy SEALs to whatever, and there's themes that run through all of them, and if you can connect those themes and say, okay, this is a theme that runs through yoga and powerlifting and gymnastics and all this stuff, it's like, it's common. If I do that, I'll probably be better for it. So, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, man. Good stuff, all of it.
Before we take off, I think that's a good breaking point.
Good.
Where can people find you on social media or the studio here or whatever?
Studio Seva is on North Anthony Corridor next to the health food shop in Fort Wayne. We've got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Studio-seva.com is our website. And there's links there for all of our awesome social media.
Where can people follow you on Instagram? What's your Instagram handle?
I don't know.
She was trying to avoid that.
Studio Seva Yoga, I think.
I don't even remember, and I follow you.
We'll post
show notes.
I was trying to help you out there, but we'll post a.
But I suck.
on our Instagram, CrossFit Tactical Strength. That's our Instagram. I will repost some stuff from Joni and Studio Seva. So if you want to find her there, I'll get the official handle for you.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
My
Take care
social
of
media job for me. My social media promotion.
Dave's going to be so mad.
I know, right? What?
Anything else you want to cover?
Thank you for everything. I appreciate
you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
The gym's great, and I love, just appreciate being welcome there and being able to be there, teach yoga there. It's pretty cool. I love that you implement both of them.
Yep, and we love having you a part of it.
Yeah,
so.
Cool.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Yay. All right. Until next time.
Yes.
Go to iTunes, give us a 5-star review, and sign up for our newsletter at CrossFitTacticalStrength.com.
Awesome.
All right. Laters.